For us drummers, rock is a bit of a given. It's a must-know. It's just something you end up doing because drums is designed to be loud and big. Jazzers, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to us normies over here. So with that in mind, here's 3 rock grooves because rock is fun. Drums are fun. Let's have some fun. Wait. Cool, innit? It's good. It's also 2 bars long. We're getting adventurous. Now, this is a relatively simple groove, but I'm also going to talk about dynamics here specifically for rock scenarios. I suggest you do a couple things. You don't have to. They're optional. But open your hi-hat just a smidge. Make it a little bit trashy. I know here I've got the foot wide open, but I'm on an electric kit. Also, if you want to, go for rim shots on 2 and 4. Rim shot being hitting the middle, like normal with the tip of the stick, but also hitting the rim of the snare drum at the same time. You'll find the angle eventually, and then it will sit in your muscle memory and sort itself out. Now, the groove itself is an 8th note groove, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on the right hand, we're going to do what's called, colloquially, as a rock hi-hat pattern. 2 reasons. I don't know which is correct. 1, because it kind of rocks from side to side, and the other because it's used in a lot of rock music. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. Either way, it's a 2-part motion, and if you've never come across it before, it's a hell of a thing to get down because it will make all your grooves sound just a little bit more tasty. Don't want them all the time, but it sounds real good. Basically, numbers, edge of the hi-hat with the shoulder, this bit of the stick, and with the tip of the stick. So you end up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And notice how this motion is not 1 and 2 and 3. We don't want this. We are not robots. We are people. What a quote that is. So the main emphasis is on that downbeat. Surprise, surprise. And to get that second one, on the way back up, we're actually just going to lift from the wrist and tap very lightly as part of the motion to come back and get ready for the next hi-hat. You see? So it's nice and flowy. Lift on the wrist. Takes a while to get down if you've never done it before, and trying to apply it to grooves straight away can be tricky. Something to bear in mind as you're doing this is always remember where your count is. Always remember where your towel is as well, but mostly the count, because when a bass drum falls on an and, for example, it's going to fall with the tip of the stick up here too. Anyway, I digress. I've talked about this in other videos too. The groove itself, 1 and 2E, is where the bass drum is in relation to the hi-hat. Snare drum's nice and easy, it's only on 2 and 4. So 1 and 2, 4, 2, 3 with the bass drum, 1 and 2. Get that first. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now, the funky one, 2E, and technically 4E as well, will fall in between your hi-hats. 1 and 2E. 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 Feels real weird. Get that down and we'll play 2 bars of it. 1 and 2E. 3 and 4E. 1 and 2E. 3 and... This is where it changes up. We play 4, just a snare drum on its own. 4. And then with the bass drum that's always on the E, we play a crash. 4E. Just because we can. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Also, because we've got that gap afterwards of the and in beat 4, just adds a little bit of extra space to your groove and sounds really cool. Also then get a crash on 1, because the drum police says so, me being the drum police. So altogether should sound like this. 3, 4. Very nice. Right, groove number 2. 1, 2. Again, we've got our trashy hats, we've got rim shots, we've got all that stuff. Like I said before, not always strictly necessary or appropriate, just gives a bit more of an attitude, if you will. This groove is a bit more of a bass drum workout as well, so if you want to be working on your feet, this is great for that. Also, it's a bit more interesting because we've got a snare drum on 1 and 2, which is not rare, but it's a bit different from your normal 2 and 4. For now, I'm going to play the hi-hat closed just for everybody's sanity. 8th notes all the way through this bad boy as well. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just like before. Beat 1, 1 and So together, bass, bass. Second bass drum is without a hi-hat. 1 and Beat 2 is the same. 2, then we just got 1 bass drum. And stick those 2 beats together. 1 and 2 and. You can just loop that if you want. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 2. In fact, that's a cool groove all by itself. But we're a bit more technical than that. So next up, we're going to go bass drum with the hi-hat, 3 E and 3 E and E and making sure we don't put a hi-hat again with that second bass drum. So let's stick first 3 beats together. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and and then beat 4's plain sailing. 4 and. Just like that. 4 and. Stick it all together. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and. Woof! Sounds real good. Once you get a little bit quicker, I have talked about bass drum speed in another video, so feel free to check that out as well. Should be linked somewhere. But for now, let's play it and then move on. Alright, last up we have a tom groove, because let's mix things up a little bit. This is actually a classic tom groove. You will probably see, hear, smell this everywhere, but it's a great one to get under your belt. The groove in question is this. It's a classic. I have, however, tweaked it slightly. This is more the conventional route. I've got the right hand moving just a little bit more to make things a bit more interesting. But first off, the call groove. 8th notes, just moving from the hi-hat to the floor tom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and snare drum 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bass drum 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So that's a groove all by itself. But now, the fun stuff. First tom that happens is on the of 2 with the left hand on the high tom. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and After you've done that first high tom, you may as well stay put with the left hand for the next high tom, which happens on the E of 3. So you get 1 and 2 and E. 1 and 2 and E. 1, 2, E. Sounds ridiculous, but it works. So get that grooving, get the whole bar going. Again, every single variation of this is just as valid, so you can experiment with this however you want. Just the final touch for this core groove is moving that left hand from the snare drum, which we've just hit on 4, and then hitting the of 4 on the floor tom with the left. So 1 and 2, E, 4, Look at that. And if you're blessed like me and have an extra floor tom, you can do the 8th notes on that and then move the left to the other toms available. All sorts of variations you can do with that. But now, what would I do? here's what I'd do. If you want to mix things up just ever so slightly, a great way to do it is to start moving the right. So, going back to just the chord groove, imagine you've just got a high tom, floor tom. We're now going to fill in that gap that happens between these two high toms. Left, right, left. Oof. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Sounds pretty cool to me. 1 and 2, 3 E. It's just those 3 up there, then you move the right back down. 3 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 E. It just gets you used to moving that right hand because it's very easy to just stay fixed with that right hand. Try it on the mid-tom as well. Either way, there are 3 rock grooves for you to try out and rock out too. If you want to check out the other videos that I've done on different styles or time signatures, then you know where they are. I'm right here, B. And if you want some shorter stuff, we got that too. Full of content, me. Either way, have a fantastic day, week, month, year, life, and I will see you in the next video. Big love.